of our basic mat series. So over the next few days, we're going to be giving all of the exercises we've been doing just a little bit of a progression, a little bit of a challenge. So sometimes we're going to be holding the positions for a little bit longer. Sometimes we're going to pick up the pace a little bit, maybe increase repetitions, or we could be doing things like lifting arms, lifting legs, which is going to make it more open chain work, which is a bit challenging as well. So guys, at any point, if something feels like it's straining, especially the lower back and especially the neck and shoulders, feel free to do any modification that you need to for yourself as well. All right. Fantastic. So guys, let's come and start in a standing position. And I want you to stand today at the front edge of your mat. So oftentimes we start at the back. Today we're still going to start towards the front end of your mat. So separate your feet a little bit so that they are hip distance apart. Just allow your arms to relax beside you. I'm just going to change the angle of my hands a little bit. So, and then just take a moment to roll your shoulders back and around a few times. So this is just a lovely way to get a sense of opening across your chest and getting a sense of where your shoulder blades are on the back of your rib cage. And then just allow your arms to relax. Take a moment to close your eyes. And as you stand here, we're going to take 5 breaths in and out. Nice full inhale through the nose. And a long exhale through the mouth. And again, wide inhale. Feel how your ribs expand forwards, backwards, sideways. And a long exhale, just feeling the ribs close, feeling that little connection to the muscles around the ribs. And again, deep inhale. Feel that little response of the abdominals releasing. And on the breath out, feel how the abdominals have an opportunity to engage slightly. 2 more. Wide inhale. Feel that lifting through the crown of your head. Long exhale. Feeling how your feet settle and root you to your mat. And this is your last one. Taking a beautiful deep breath in. Feeling all that fresh oxygen and energy moving through your body. Long exhale, and just allow yourself to settle into your skin, grounding yourself, and allow yourself to become present for the rest of class. Open your eyes, blinking gently. We're going to inhale to grow just a little bit taller, and now we're going to start going into a roll down. So nod your chin. And then just start peeling forward through your spine. Let your knees soften slightly so that you don't feel that they're hyperextending backwards at all. And just come as deep as that first roll down allows you. And when you reach the bottom, pause, relaxing the back of your neck deliberately. And then on your next breath, start unraveling your spine. Feel the abdominals connecting. Pressing into the heels of your feet so that you can start to wake up the back line of your body. Coming all the way up and lifting nice and tall. Now take your right arm up overhead and then do a stretch towards the left. So you start opening the right side of your body. And then come all the way back up and letting that arm float all the way down. Left arm reaches to the side. Overhead, long stretch over, opening the left side of the body and releasing all the way up. And you're going to do one more time on each side. I'm just going to face you so you can see the movement. Right arm, up and over, lean to the side. Maybe push your hip a little bit if you want to increase it. Come back to the center and float your arm down. Last time with the left arm reaching all the way over. Maybe that little push the hip if that feels good for you. Release. Come back to the center. and pause here. We're going to do our second roll down. Take a breath in, grow tall. Exhale, look down, and just feeling that rippling through your spine. Just let your arms hang heavy. So you're just letting your scapula glide wide. Find the weight of your crown, and you're going to come all the way down. Just enjoy the stretch at the bottom for a moment. Double check that you're standing evenly over your feet. And then exhale, unravel, up you come. Remember that connection of your heels to the ground, so you're activating that entire back line of your body. And coming tall. Place your hands just onto the shelf of your hip. We're going to bend the knees. Remember to keep the spine upright, so don't lean forward like this. And then straighten the legs. And again, bending the knees. And straighten. And we're going to do two more. Watch the tracking of your knees, that they don't collapse in like this. And straighten so you can have your feet wherever feels comfortable for you. Bend your knees, now stay here. Let your hands relax down. We're going to roll down from here. On your breath, look towards your feet, getting that curve of your upper back. Keep rolling forward, getting the curve into the lower back. And because your knees are super duper bent, you should be able to easily put your fingertips to the ground, or if you're flexible, you might even be able to put flat hands to the ground. Bend your knees a little bit more as if you're going to sit on a dining room chair. And then on your next breath, straighten your legs as much as possible, and now you're getting a stretch into the calf muscles and the hamstrings. And again, bending your knees. And exhale, stretch. Guys, you've got to keep your hands on the floor, so don't let your hands lift up. Two more times. So even if you can't straighten your legs completely, it doesn't matter. Keep the fingertips or the hands connected to the ground. One more time, bending the knees. And straightening the knees. Now I want you to bend your knees enough that you can put your hands flat to the ground, take them a little bit wider, and then just shift your body weight onto your right leg. Pick up your left leg to balance, and then stretch that left leg all the way backwards behind you until you can place that foot to the ground. Now, lower that back knee. If you need to put a cushion under that knee, do it. Relax your foot out. And then walk your hands up onto the knee at the front, the right knee, and bring your body upright. So you need to focus your eye line to help you balance. Abdominals are connected. And now start just shifting your body weight a little bit backwards and forwards. And you should be feeling quite a lovely opening on that left hip flexor as you move your body weight. Remember to keep that sensation of lifting up to your crown. So it's a light feeling in the spine. It's a decompressed feeling in the spine. Now bring yourself into the position that feels like a good stretch for you. Right hand stays, left hand comes down. We inhale, reach up. And we exhale, bring the arm down. And again, inhale, reach up. And exhale, release down. We're going to take two more. So we're creating tensioning on that front line of the body. It's such a beautiful way to open up those hip flexors. One more time, reach up. And exhale, release down. And now I want you to come down and place your fingertips to the floor just on either side of that front foot. And start moving your hips forwards and backwards. So now the emphasis is on stretching the hamstring of that right leg at the front. So what really helps here is to keep your spine as lengthened as possible. So the shoulders are away from your ears, and I almost think about my breastbone, my heart, reaching forward. Let's do one more time. Just a gentle rhythmic movement. Now come forward and hold it. Walk forward on your fingertips so they're there to help you balance. Tuck the back toes under. Lift up the back leg and just hold it here for a moment. Now, you need to make sure that your front foot is rooted. Bend the back knee and do a little bit of a bounce. And again, so you're actually kicking off, lifting up that left foot. One more time, kick off. And now, kick off and step your foot forward. Line up your toes with each other, and then just relaxing all the way over. Just take one hand onto the opposite elbow, other hand onto the opposite elbow, and then just hang there for a moment like a rag doll. Maybe you want to do a little sway from side to side. Maybe you want to bend and straighten the knees. Just kind of see what feels good for you today. And then release your hands. Place the palms of your hands flat, wide apart. And then shift your body weight to your left leg. Pick up your right leg so you can feel how much the abs have to work here, yeah? Now stretch your right leg back and take a big step back. Hold it there, and then lower the back knee, or maybe you can give yourself a cushion if you need. Relax the toes, walk your hands up onto that left knee at the front, and just bringing your body upright. So connect your abs. Start moving your body weight forwards and backwards. So also, anytime we shift our body weight, it's such a wonderful way for your brain to start to realize where your center of mass is. So noticing the connection around your abdominals and your pelvis when you do this. And now bring yourself into the position that feels like the best stretch on this side. Left hand stays, right hand down. Inhale, bring the right hand up. And exhale, releasing it down. And again, inhale, energy through the fingertips. And release. Let's take two more. Create as much space between your joints that you can. One more time, breathing in, reach. And then exhale, bring that hand down. And now bring your fingertips down to the floor on either side of the heel of your foot. And we start moving backwards and forwards. Finding that release along the back of the leg. And when I do the stretch, I feel it quite strongly in my hamstring muscle. But depending on how your body works, you might actually feel it like more behind the knee or maybe in the calf muscle as well. And that's perfectly normal. It just kind of tells you where your body is tight. Long spine. Shoulders away from your ears. And we're going to bring our body weight forward. Walk your hands forward. Now you're going to be on the fingertips. Tuck the back toes under. Lift up that back knee. And we hold it here for a moment. Root that left foot. Bend the back knee and push off that foot. And again, your abs are connecting. You are shifting your center of mass. Find your balance. And now step forward. Line up your toes. And then fold over. Just relax into it. Take one hand to the opposite elbow. Taking your other hand to the opposite elbow. Frame your head. And just take a moment to really surrender here. So it's just a wonderful feeling of just releasing completely. And then on your next breath, releasing your hands, soften your knees and roll up into a standing position, abs connected, pressing into the heels of the feet as you come all the way upright. Take a moment to pause here, focus your gaze. Let's roll the shoulders back and around a few times, and then just allowing the arms to settle. Now, we're going to move our arms with our breath. then reaching all the way up. Connect each fingertip to its partner. And exhale, open up across the chest, creating a little bit of space for this next hour of movement. And again, we inhale. Reach up. Notice how, as your arms move through space, that there is a natural gliding and movement around the shoulders, the scapula. One more time, breathing in. And exhale, opening your arms. Just allow your arms to relax here. We're going to do another roll down. Take a breath in. Breathe out as you look towards your feet. Start rolling forward. And coming all the way down. Bend your knees. And then place your hands flat to the ground, taking your hands just a little bit wider. And now, balancing on your right foot, just take a big step back with the left leg. Root into your hands and step the right leg back to join. And we are now in our plank position. So I want you to get a feeling of every single joint in your body stabilizing. Feel all the muscles around those joints supporting you and hugging the bones. Energy through your crown, energy through your heels. And then on your next breath, lower the knees. Release your feet. Round your spine like a cat. Start to move back and just go to a place where you feel that you've got the best opening and release across the lower back. Stay here with your hands spread out on the mat. And then if you choose, you can add a little bit of trampolining movement. One more. And then coming all the way forward. Now bring your shoulders in line with your wrists and then lengthen your spine. So you're now going to be in a more neutral position and not a cat stretch. You still need to make sure that the abdominal muscles are connected. You can see my shirt's hanging down so you can't even see, but my abs are working here. Now with a lengthened spine, start moving your hips back and then bringing your body weight forward. So again, this is about shifting body weight. And as you push away from your hands, do you notice that your upper body switches on? And as you bring your body weight forward, do you notice that your lower body switches on? So we're maintaining the same shape of our spine, but the simple placement of where we are in space makes our various muscle groups work. And now I want you to bring your shoulders in line with your hands and walk your knees a little bit forward so you're back into our normal 4 points. Balance on the left hand and the right hand reaches to the side. Coming into a thread the needle. Placing your shoulder, placing your head to the ground. Just take a moment to let yourself settle here. And then today, you can either stretch the left arm forward if that feels good for you, or perhaps you'd like to try something a little bit different, where you can place your hand sort of across to the opposite hip behind your lower back. So for some people, that's a little bit too much weight on the neck. So if that doesn't feel good, then rather slide your hand forward on the ground. Just double check that you're able to breathe still. And then release, placing your left hand onto the floor again. All the way up you come, so you stretch the right arm out to the side. And then bringing that hand in again. Left arm reaches. Thread the needle through, placing head, placing shoulder. And just allow yourself to settle here and to breathe. If you'd like to slide your hand forward or place your hand around the lower back, feel free to do so. And what you did on the first side might not feel appropriate on the second side, so just fine tune. Notice what's happening with your body. And then placing your right hand to the ground, coming all the way up again and settling onto all fours. So let's come into a little bit of a cat stretch here. So start tucking your tail under, moving through your spine, one vertebra at a time, rounding your back and tucking your chin in, and then lengthening your tail out. And you can either come to neutral, or at this point you might feel like your spine is quite warm and you can go to extension. And keep going. What I'd like you to try today is closing your eyes as you do this movement. So as you close your eyes, it's going to allow you an opportunity to feel your body moving through space. Notice the areas that are easy for you. Notice the areas where maybe you come up against a little bit of resistance. Keep breathing. We're going to take one more full round. No rushing. And then come into a rounded spine, cat position. Open your knees wide, place the big toes together, and sit yourself back into a resting pose. So place your hands and arms wherever feels good for you. If you maybe want to sort of move your fingers and wrists around after that weight-bearing work, feel free to do so. And just take a moment here to notice the shape that your body is making. Notice where your knees and hips are settling. Notice the weight of your pelvis, the shape of your spine, the placement of your shoulders and your arms. And then on your next breath, start to walk your hands backwards towards your knees as you unravel your spine, coming all the way upright. I want you to move your hips to your left, but now I'm going to do a mirror image of you. So move your hips to your left so your feet are out to the right side. Hold onto your right ankle. And then just bring that left arm to the side, lift it up, and start reaching over. So you start to open up that left side of the body, and then turn your head to look down. That's going to release the muscle around the neck called the levator scapula. And we're going to take 3 breaths in and out here. Feel the left lung expanding and deflating. Feel the left side of your heart. And notice that beautiful line of energy from your top fingertips all the way down the side of your body to the crest of your hip. Bring your eye line to the front. Bring yourself all the way up. Now place that left hand just a little bit behind you on the floor. Put your right hand to that knee. Sit up nice and tall. And then just bring yourself into a little bit of an open twist. Nothing major. Just a little bit of a release of the spine. And then come back to the center. Swing your feet over to the other side. So you're sitting a little bit like a mermaid on the rock. Hand holds onto the left ankle, right arm up, reaching over towards the side. Turn your head to look down. Relaxing the muscles along the side of your neck. And we take 3 breaths in and out. Feel the ribs moving. Feel the lungs, feel your heart. And connect the line of energy from your fingertips all the way down the side of your body to the crest of your pelvis. Bring your head to the front, and then coming all the way back up. Pivot to sit on your bottom. Come a little bit towards the front of your mats. Separate your knees and your feet hip distance. Arms reaching out. We're going into our half roll back. Exhale, curl your tail under, getting that rounded C curve of your spine. Connect the abdominals without straining, and then forward you come. And lift up nice and tall. And again, exhale, half roll back. So this is a lovely way to just wake up the abs without straining into the neck. And forward. Lift up tall. Last one. Curl the tail under, abs connecting. And I just want you to stay here for a moment and let's scissor the arms. So one arm goes up as one arm comes down. And scissor. 6 more. Synchronize the right and left sides of your body, keeping the wrists and the elbows extended. And allow the movement to have a ripple effect to the scapula on the back of your body. Let the scapula glide. 3 more. 2 more. Use your exhale to flatten the abdominal wall. 1 more. Both arms reach forward. Take your hands behind your thighs and lower yourselves onto your backs with control and relaxing all the way down. Just bring your feet a little closer in, and I want you to bring your knees and your feet together to touch. Take your hands a little wider than your mat. Pick up your right thigh and cross it over the left thigh. Start to roll both your knees to the right and look over the left shoulder. So this is our spine twist. And on your breath out, remember it is the obliques that draw you all the way back to the center. Rolling your knees over towards the left. Turn and look the other way. And the abdominals draw you back to center. We're going to do one more time to the right. Rolling the knees over. Keep the chest open, arms and shoulders are grounding you. And exhale, obliques, narrow the waist, flatten the abdominals, and you hold it here. Bring both knees up into your chest. You're still having your thighs crossed. You can stay there with your hands on your knees, or if you can increase the stretch, you slide your hands down towards the ankles of the feet so that you start to get a stretch into the deep bum on the right side. So this is the piriformis muscle. So if you need to put a cushion under your head for support, like if you feel like your neck is straining and your shoulders are straining, just put a little prop underneath your head there. Taking one more breath in, and then release, uncross, and just take a moment to hug both knees in, tuck your chin in, round your spine, tucking yourself into a tight little bowl shape, and then releasing head and shoulders down. Now put your right foot onto the floor, and your left thigh just immediately crosses over. Hands, low V, and now take your legs over to the left. Turn your head to look to the right, so you're going into your spine twist again. And then exhale and pull back to the center. It's that feeling of narrowing the waist. Take your legs to the right, look the other way. See how far you can go, don't force it. Exhale. Draw to center. And just one more time. Rolling the knees. And exhale. Bring your knees up into your body. So again, find the placement of your hands that works for you. If you can bring your hands down a little bit lower, then go for it. And this can be quite an intense stretch for a lot of people, okay? So just make sure that you're in a place where you might rate the stretch like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. If it's like an 11 out of 10 for you, then maybe ease off a little bit. And on your next breath, let go, uncross your legs, hug them in towards you, and once again, chin in, tight little ball shape, so you should feel quite a lovely stretch across your lower back. And then take your head and shoulders down, but we're going to keep the legs elevated now. So bringing your knees up, take your hands and place them against the front of your thighs. So we're going to go into the single leg stretch. We've been practicing this for the last few days. So create a little bit of resistance between your hands and your knees, just enough, like 10%, to switch on the hip flexors and switch on the core. Nod your chin. On your breath out, lift your head and shoulders up, and then you need to lock into position there. Your abs are working. Stretch the left leg away, and both hands push against the right knee. Switch legs, switch hands to the left leg, push. Keep going for 8 more. At any point, if you need to place your hands under your head, or one hand under your head for support, please do so. If you feel strain in your lower back, then don't fully straighten that leg that's moving away from you. Last 2. Last 1. Bend both knees, draw them in, and relaxing, head and shoulders all the way down. Just stay there for a moment. Just turn your head from side to side, because you might very well feel that those neck flexor muscles have been working quite hard. And then center your head, have one hand on each knee, and let's just draw some circles with those knees out and around. So this is called stir the clouds. So you separate the knees away from each other. So one knee circles to the right and one knee circles to the left. Just make sure that your lower back feels okay with it. And then change direction and circle the other way. So now it's a feeling of almost pulling your knees up towards your armpits a little bit. So it's a lively exercise to mobilize the hips. And then come to the center and stay there. Now, again, bring your knees up to a tabletop position. Double check your lower back's okay. Interlock your fingers behind your head. And now we're going to do an exercise called the crisscross. So make sure your elbows are floating. Nod your chin. Breathe out as you come up into a chestnut. It's that feeling of sliding the ribs forward. Now, stretch your right leg forward and rotate your ribs a little bit towards the left. Switch your legs and twist towards the right. Switch and twist. 8 more. Guys, it's about rotating the thoracic spine and the rib cage. It's not about swinging the elbows or turning your face from side to side. Flatten the belly. Flatten the belly. 2 more. 1 more. Come to center, hug your knees in, and relaxing all the way down. Nicely done. And again, just let your neck release a little bit from side to side. You're going to place your feet down to the ground, separate your knees and feet a little bit, and we're going to get ready to go into a pelvic curl. Arms down. You can have palms down or palms up. See what feels good. On your breath out, tilt your hips, and then rolling up towards the sky. So as you bring your pelvis into the air, you want to feel that nice connection into the bum cheeks of the back. Don't let your lower back take over. And then get ripple down through the spine, feeling the imprint, and then releasing at the bottom. Let's go again. We've got 3 more. Squeeze the bum cheeks. Pause there, guys, or your lower abs doing their job. And then roll through your spine, consciously and deliberately placing yourself to the mat. And we've got 2 more. Tilting hips. Squeezing into the bum cheeks. Stay here for a moment. And then ripple down through the spine. And release. And this is your last one. Tilting hips. Rolling up. Now hold it here. Take your hands, lightly cup your bum cheeks. Start putting some pressure onto the right foot. And if you feel your lower back is straining, bring your hips down a bit, okay? Start to stand all your body weight onto the right foot and just see if you can lift the left leg up. Now, you can stay here, or maybe you can let your hips come a little bit down. And then when you press your hips up again, it's a lovely squeeze of the right bum. Let your hips come down. And then as you lift up, try not to let your lower back take over. So it's quite nice having your hands on your bum cheeks because it's going to give you a tactile cue of the muscles that should be working. One more time. Press up, hold it, and then ever so gracefully place that left foot down. It's very tempting to just drop the leg. Now, put a little bit of weight on the left leg, make sure the bum is doing its job, and put all your body weight on the left leg and bring the right leg up. Make any adjustments you need for your body. And now, let your hips come down a little bit, and then we squeeze up. Good. And again, little release, and press up. Guys, make sure that you are breathing. The breath work helps you connect your core and focus into the gluteals. One more time. Press up and hold it. Place your foot down. Stand on your feet evenly, and then let your hands relax down. Roll through your spine, feeling that lovely imprint into the lower back. And then you get to release at the bottom. Nice. Bring your hands up towards the sky. Turn your palms to face each other. And we're just going to scissor the arms a few times. Just synchronizing the movement between the 2 sides of the body. And now, I want you to bring your left arm overhead. I want you to roll your left knee to the side and let the weight of your leg carry you over. So you're now going to lie on your left side. To find a position where your head is supported, then you're going to take your hand, your right hand, place it onto the shelf of your hip, and you're going to straighten the top leg all the way out. Flex the foot of that top leg, and we're just going to stay here. Abs are connected, chin is lifted, the pelvis and the shoulders are nicely stacked. And just by holding our leg in the air, this is called an isometric contraction, we should be starting to wake up these little side bum muscles called the gluteus medius. So make sure that you're not letting your leg hinge forward. If it's hinging forward, the hip flexors are going to take over. If you let your leg go backwards, then probably your spine's going to arch and then your lower back is taking over. So double check your placement. Energy pushing out through the heel of the foot. And now tighten up this underneath oblique and see if you can lift your leg up a little bit. And now we're going to stay here. So the reason I'm getting you to connect the underneath obliques is to make sure that your lumbar spine doesn't move. And now, if you put your hands on your pants at the back, can you feel that there are wrinkles in your pants? They should be there. So now we know that we are lifting from the hip joint, and you should be feeling that little gluteus medius muscle connecting. And now, point your toes like a ballerina, and let's draw some little circles in the air. So we haven't done any kind of circling movement in this series. We've been focusing just on lifting and lowering the leg, but now you guys have demonstrated control over those movements. So let's add in some little variations. And pause, change direction, and draw little circles the other way. When you do this movement at the hip joints, the pelvis and the lumbar spine shouldn't be moving. Find your stability. 2 more. 1 more. Pause. And then bend that knee. Oh my goodness. I hope I'm not the only one with my butt cheeks on fire. Now, bring your knees up as if you're sitting in a chair. Cradle the back of your neck. We're going to be doing thoracic rotation. So if you prefer, you can take a pillow and put it under your head with both your arms out like this. I'm just going to use my arm as a prop. So right hand comes forward. You're going to inhale, lift your arm up, look up at your fingertips, and then start opening up your chest. Allow your legs to move if that's what your body needs. And today we're going to stay here, and we're simply going to take 3 breaths in and out. And I'm bending my arm a little bit because I'm hitting the wall behind me. You can keep your arms straight if you need. And if your lower back doesn't like this, then maybe hug your knees up a little bit. Ooh, such a wonderful stretch and release across the chest. Take a breath in, and then exhale, release, and bringing that arm all the way to the front. Place your fingertips lightly to the ground. You're going to step the right foot back onto the mat, roll yourself onto your back, bringing both arms up. Take a moment to settle yourself, and then let's again do some scissoring of the arms. Synchronizing the 2 sides, and you might notice that your right shoulder is already feeling a bit easier because we just did that stretch, that thoracic rotation. And now this time, bring the right arm overhead. Let your right knee open to the side, and the weight of your legs pulls you over, and then you settle into position here. So again, you're going to place your left hand onto the shelf of your hip. Stretch the left leg out long. Flexing the foot, so you're pushing through the heel. Chin up, shoulders away from the ears. Make sure that your bottom abdominal is connected. And again, try to make sure that this leg is in a straight line with your body. Just hold it here, isometric contraction. I mean, it seems like such a simple thing to do, but it's very, very effective to start to wake up muscles, especially if they don't want to work. Like my left gluteal doesn't like to work, so this is great that I can start to really feel it. And now, lift your leg up a little bit higher. Be careful that you don't let your lumbar spine or pelvis move. And now if you put your hand just at the back of your pants here, you should be able to feel those little wrinkles in your pants. So you're really isolating the movement from the hip joints. Make sure that you're breathing. Stay here for just 1 more count. And then point your toes. And then let's start to draw little circles. And it doesn't matter which direction you go first, because we are going to change direction. You might work in the leg that's on the floor, helping you stabilize. So allow it to work, but also make sure that the abdominals are connected as well. And then let's change direction and draw little circles the other way. Last one, and hold it, bend your knee, and give your buttons a little bit of a rub. Okay guys, so now thoracic rotation. Bring your knees up as if you're sitting in a chair. Give yourself support under your head if you wish. Left arm forward, and now bring your arm up, look at it, and then start to open up across the chest. Take yourself as far back as your flexibility feels good. And now we stay here for 3 breaths in and out. Feel that opening along the chest, the shoulder, maybe down the front of the arm. Notice where you feel it the most. And then let's return, lifting the arm, sliding your body all the way to the side again. And then fingertips to the ground for support. Step the left foot back. Roll onto your back easily and bringing both arms all the way up. And then let's just do a few more arm scissors so that now you can feel the left shoulder. Just notice if it's releasing a little bit for you now that we have done the thoracic rotation on the other side. And then bring both hands all the way up. Stretch one leg out on the floor, stretch the other leg out on the floor. Guys, we're going into a roll up here. So decide if you want your legs together or apart, toes pointed or toes flexed. Up to you. Keep the rib cage closed as you reach the arms overhead. And that is your starting position. Here we go. Lift arms, lift head, breathe out as you roll forward. And you're going to come just until your nose is above your pubic bone. I'm just going to center my mat here. Make sure your profile is above your shoulders. Take a breath in, and then exhale, down you go. And you need to be able to control the movement on the way down as well. So give yourself any kind of props and support that are needed. Your head touches, and then when your arms go back, make sure your ribs haven't popped. We're going to do another one. And inhale, lift arms, chin in, lift head, exhale. Help yourself if you need to. You can bend your knees. Stay here. Bite the mat with your bum. You want to get those little bum muscles lifting you up from underneath. And exhale. Down you go. Send your feet away from you and unfold your spine. And this is your last one. Let's make it the best one. Inhale, lift arms. Lift head. Breathe. And this time, go all the way forward, all the way forward, all the way forward. Hold your shins, your ankles, your feet, whatever you can. And just let yourself get a bit of a stretch there for a moment. Take a breath in, and then exhale, release, and sitting all the way upright. Good. I want you to place your hands behind you. Bend your knees and have your feet just slightly apart. Now, if you're okay with your fingertips pointing forward, then this is a classic exercise. My wrists don't like that. So I turn my fingers to point out towards the side. You're going to sit nice and tall, so you have a feeling of shoulders away from ears and you have your arms connected. And I just want you to hover your butt off the ground and just feel your body weight on your feet and on your hands. And then if you're okay there, just shift your body weight a little bit forwards and backwards again. And just like when we're on all fours, do you notice how the muscle connection changes based on if you're pushing towards your feet or pulling towards your hands? So I feel quite a nice stretch in my shoulder when I bring my hips towards my feet. And one more time. And then just center yourself and release all the way down. Sit up, give your wrists a little bit of a shake. And now I want you to turn onto your stomachs. And we're going to start off with just a little bit of a quadricep stretch. So put your left hand under your head, bend the right knee. So the first thing is when you bend the knee, make your kneecap happy, and then grab onto your foot. So if you need to use a strap around your foot, go for it. Once you have your position, see if you can start to squeeze your bum cheeks a little bit so that you open up the front of the hip as well. And then we want the stretch down the front of the thigh. So you can bend the elbow if you need to, or you can even lift the thigh up, but make sure that your lower back isn't compressing at all. Stay here for just a few more seconds. And then on your next breath, release, stretch the leg back, and now switch over to the other side. Resting your head, level out your shoulders and your pelvis, and then you do a little bit of a squeeze with the bum cheeks. And again on your next breath, just release and letting the legs stretch all the way back. So today, try to bring your legs together. Normally we have them slightly separated. I just want you to feel the difference in your extension when you have your legs together. Put your hands on the floor beside your shoulders. Make sure that your elbows are on the ground. So move your arms if you need to. Hover the tip of your nose. Engage the bum cheeks. Gently squeeze the inner thighs together. And it's a feeling of creating space through your spine. So that switches on the multifidus, which is that deep back muscle. Here we go. Inhale as you lift your eye line. Exhale as you lift your chest up. Squeezing your legs together. Make sure that you've still got these two little bottom ribs down and you're sending your breastbone away. And then release and come down to cover the tip of your nose. So just for me, it feels very stable, but I don't have as much range of movement. That's for me. Notice on your own bodies if it works or not. And lifting eye line. Exhale. And just notice how the scapula do a little bit of a squeeze together here. You're still creating space. There's no scrunching. And then lower down. Keep squeezing the inner thighs into each other. And we're going to do one more time. Inhale as you lift the eye line. Exhale, floating your chest up. Now I want you to stay here. And without moving your hands, imagine that you're going to pull your arms backwards to your feet. Now when you do that pulling with the arms, can you feel how much more you reach your breastbone forward? And then release the tension of your arms and lower your head down. We're going to do one more time like that. And lifting eye line, lifting up through your breastbone. Squeeze your inner thighs. Make sure that your bum is switched on, so your abdominals. Start to pull your hands towards your feet without actually moving anything. Deepen that back extension connection, and then release, and coming all the way down, relax your legs. Now, let your elbows poke up to the sky. You're going to push all the way up, and then separate your knees, big toes touch, sit yourself back, and once again come into the resting position that we did at the beginning of class. And we're just going to stay here for a few breaths, and it is an opportunity to notice the shift that is taking place. Notice the position and the feeling of your knees, your hips, your pelvis. Notice the shape of your spine, the position of your shoulders, your arms. And then on your next breath, start to walk yourself up so that you can place your hands onto the ground very close to your knees. And then just lift up so that you can bring your knees into parallel. Tuck your toes under. And then you're simply going to roll back over your feet. So you're in a rounded spine, a crouch position. And it's quite a nice stretch on the calf muscles down towards the Achilles, maybe a nice stretch across the lower back. And then keep your balance and bring your hands closer to your feet, going onto the tips of your fingers. Send your hips up and press the heels down. And maybe you can do a few little straightening and bends of the knees. Just getting that release along the back of the legs. And then keep your knees just a little bit bent and start to roll up into standing. Find the connections up the back line of your body as you lift yourself up and tall. Just take a moment to roll your shoulders back and around. And then just allow your arms to settle. Stay as you are. I'm just going to turn to face towards you. And close your eyes. And we take 3 full breaths in and out. And in your own time, just blink your eyes open. Do a little wiggle with your fingers, a little wiggle with your toes, move your ankles and your wrists. Nicely done, guys. Let me come and do a little check-in with everyone. Make sure that you were good with all the exercises.